So the banquet scene is another one of these legendary scenes in the play. So many set pieces that are quick, fast, visual, very powerful. Macbeth is at this banquet, and these the assassins show up, and they have blood on their face, and it's Banquo's blood, and he says, Macbeth is so brutal. He says, "Great. It's better on your face than inside his body. So let me know it's all done." They're like, "Look, Fleance escaped." And he goes, "My nightmare is back again." He can't handle it at all. And he comes back, and he acts erratic and terrified, and the audience sees the ghost of Banquo, but nobody else can. And we really get a sense of Macbeth's unraveling. And again, you get this idea that for a play about the supernatural, it's quite attuned to the idea that the supernatural also exists in the mind. My royal lord, you do not give the cheer. May it please your highness, sit. The table's full. You do not give the cheer. You're a host. You're supposed to make people happy, and you're not doing that. And he said, "Okay, yeah, but the table's full. Now, here's a place reserved, sir." "Where?" "Here, my good lord." "What are you talking about? Here. What's wrong? What is it that's fearful, confusing? What's happening?" And he cries out, and the suspicions start to roll. "Which of you have done this? Thou canst not say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me. These outbursts, fear, guilt. What is everyone thinking? Gentlemen, rise. His Highness is not well." He is the king, after all. Lady Macbeth kind of choreographing it. Sit. "My lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. Pray you keep your seat. He has some disease, perhaps, like epilepsy or something that causes... he's had it since he's young." Are you a man? This one, all over the play. Man. What is a man? And what does it mean to be a man? You should be together now. You shouldn't be freaking out. This is the very painting of your fear. Very interesting wording here. She said something about painting early on, about painted devils. We learn. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. This is very interesting. We learn that he shares with her. He shares a lot with her, actually. Why do you make such faces? When all's done, if it were done when it were done, it were best it were done quickly. But it's not done. Things don't complete. The past is not past. It comes back. The ghost. The return. Whether in body or otherwise. You're just looking at a stool. You're looking at emptiness. Quit my sight. Get away from me. Go. Just die and let the earth hide you. Be buried. Stay buried. And what you have to remember is there's a whole audience here. And they're watching him. And they're, he's their king. They have to pretend to still honor him. But what they're seeing is a guy act really guilty. And if you can detect it, the image of murder and blood is here. Well, Lady Macbeth does her best, but she has to clear the room. And then she has a conversation where she has to tell him off. You didn't bring the cheer. You displaced the mirth. I love that phrase. You moved the happiness. Okay? And just disorder. You ruined my party. It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move. Have they? Trees to speak. Trees have been known to move, as we will later see. Blood makes more blood, maybe. The supernatural. Ghosts. What is the night? Almost at odds with morning. Which is which? Amazing. Is it night or is it morning? We don't know. That's the time it is. How sayest thou that Macbeth denies his person? Why wasn't Macduff here? He goes into the political, his new enemy. He switches, right? He keeps switching. Now it's Macduff. Did you send him? I hear it, by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them, but in his house I keep a servant feed. So he is spying on others through their servants. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will to the weird sisters. I have to go back and see the witches. More shall they speak. Is that going to make it better? For now I am bent to know by the worst means the worst. For mine own good all causes shall give way. I am in blood stepped in so far that I should wait no more. Returning were as tedious as going over. Beautiful. I am in blood stepped in so far, just so blood soaked, no turning back. It's as boring as going forward. So I've just got to go forward. Strange things I have in head that will to hands, which must be acted ere they may be scanned. You lack the season of all natures. You go to bed, sleep, but of course you can't sleep. Come, we'll go to sleep together. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are yet but young indeed. We have to do so much more. We have to keep going. I have to keep going. And maybe, I wonder, by the way, why more predictions? How will that change anything? Won't it make it worse for him? He's always struggling. He wants to find out more. He's obsessed with knowledge and acting against these predictions. But essentially what I think's happened or happens to him is that the predictions kind of stagnate or calcify in his mind, and they become so real, and he's fighting them, but really he's fighting himself, and of course he fails brutally. It really starts to unravel and go downhill from here. He has, of course, killed a kid. Now he will kill all of Macduff's household and his children, and he will find out some things, but the riddles of what he finds out, he won't believe. Is he a hero in trying to fight fate? It's worth, considering.